Okay, now hear me out. I know this probably sounds like a lie, but the reason I came to Yale is because of that tree right outside the Silliman courtyard. It might not be the whole reason, but let's just say that I came to a tie between here and Cornell, and the tree was just enough to put Yale over the edge. I finally found a sanctuary worth praying to. Despite all the time that I spent in them growing up, churches never brought me any closer to God. All of my prayers felt more like habitual recitations than genuine conversation. I could never tell if God was actually listening or if my voice was just reflecting across empty corridors. I feel like I'm the only one in my family who's still so uncertain. I remember that feeling of jealousy every time my little cousin would say grace because of the pride my dad had and how strong her faith was, or because someone managed to find so much confidence in someone that I've long since given up searching for. But I found my sanctuary in a canopy. Tree branches seem to lift my spirit far closer to paradise than baptisms ever could. I don't know much about conversations with God, but I've spent days of my life talking to trees, or singing to them, or reciting poetry. It doesn't matter, regardless, I just wanted someone to listen. Most kids wanted to talk to animals growing up. I wanted to talk to trees, or more accurately, I wanted them to talk back, because in trees, I found the sacredness I've been searching for in God the past 19 years, sanctuaries to be lost in, history wedged between rings, history that I may become a part of, but no, there is no metaphor to be made here about the black boy often found hanging in trees. If there is a metaphor, it's one of a black boy still searching for himself throughout gnarled roots, or one of a boy who's found foundations so vast that it would take devastation of biblical proportions to even have a chance at shaking his resolve.
Go in.
I don't know much about God, but I do know that I found holiness beneath these leaves that capture sunlight and transform it into sustenance. In these towers with 8-legged architects that spin webs so masterfully that they can suspend rain and time as it falls to the surface, with the greatest of observers that watch as civilizations swell and decay in their wake. It sounds ridiculous, I know, but that's why all the questions I actually have, the answers would have to come from that tree. Like, I wonder if caterpillars actually know that one day they're gonna become butterflies. Or if they just have faith that all this work they're doing to construct some strange shrine will actually pay off one day. But I still wonder what happens to the caterpillar who's too afraid to build into an uncertain future. I wonder if she's rooted to these branches as those who are brave enough to step forward begin to take flight. Maybe all caterpillars look forward to metamorphosis. Maybe they don't see 5 seconds into the future. Maybe I'm just giving them too much credit. Maybe this bark is just a well-disguised mirror that distorts my thoughts just well enough that they recognize themselves as foreign when they return to me. 3 weeks ago, I climbed the tree to the highest point I ever had. I thought to myself, if this is the closest that I ever get to God, that's enough. I laid back against the branches, looked up, and said, you might not be able to hear me right now, but thank you. And I stared at the moon.